what's happening inside this building has ceased, and that they are now, I mentioned the coroner's been called in and police are about to hold a news conference. Trace, sorting out the different accounts from witnesses is a tough thing to do because they're not all saying the same thing.
Yeah, and it's always wrong, Shep. There was a couple of shootings ago, and forgive me because we cover these on a frequent basis. There were a couple of shootings ago. We covered something, and the information that was coming out was accurate, and we both commented on the air. That was one of the few times that we've actually seen accurate information from start to end, because all the other times that we have done this, the information in the early going is clearly going to be a little bit unreliable, and it always is. I mean, you've got people that are panicked, that are running, that are trying to fight for their lives and save their lives and hold up in many cases, and they're just not seeing the same things. And, you know, when you do these active shooting scenarios in offices across, like we have done them here and you have done them in New York, and offices across the country, when you do these scenarios, people always end up saying different things at the end of the scenario. So it stands to reason that you're going to get different outcomes here. It's very good to point out that when the reporter was up and they were kind of giving us an idea of the rundown, it's a great point to be made that San Francisco General is a level 1 trauma center, one of the best in the West, and so the more severe patients would clearly be taken to San Francisco General, and then Stanford, which is down the road. And just for context here, this is at the corner of Interstate 280 and 380. It's between San Francisco and the San Francisco International Airport. That's where San Bruno is. Stanford is a little bit further on the 101 South. The patients
Trace,
who went to the 101. Yeah, go ahead, Shep.
Excuse the interruption. We've just gotten confirmed that there is no longer a threat on scene. The shooter has been taken down, according to authorities. The initial reporting that we're receiving is, we heard from the beginning that it was a female shooter. Then we hear from other witnesses that there was.
But the less serious injured patients would clearly be sent down to Stanford because they're pretty much equidistant. So if you had to pick one and you were more seriously injured, you would clearly go to SFG, San Francisco General Hospital. We still don't know any kind of numbers. We hear these things on the scanner, Shep, but we don't report that. We hear these things in witnesses, but the numbers are always unreliable, so we try to stay away from numbers. And right now, we hear multiple. We've heard that a lot. Multiple injuries. We hear multiple people in triage, and that's the best we know right now, is there are at least 4 to 5 people who have been affected by this that we know of at this point in time. Shep.
Trace, a live interview from KTVU Fox 2. Let's listen.
Shorter hair, but women complexion, and this lady that got shot in the left leg. She was the one that said, I asked him, well, was it a man, woman? And she said it was a woman. But I didn't see it, but that's what I heard. But I heard the actual person that got shot, and then a couple other people said it was a woman. Like witnesses running out from the building.
What's your name, sir?
Tim McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a witness to the woman who was shot, saying that the woman who was shot told him that the shooter was a woman. We now have confirmed through the county manager in San Mateo County that the shooter is down. Whether deceased or not, we don't know, but inactive, and the threat is over. Live pictures coming to us from KGO of people still evacuating the building. And largely, we wait now to find out from police the extent of the severity of this situation. Let's listen here live.
15 shots, you think you heard?
Yeah, I think in that range. That's about it. Yeah.
Thank you, Sapan. All right. I hope you find a little piece.
Again, witnesses giving their account of things, and as is often the case, different witnesses witness different things. It's a very large facility. They talk about this loading area where there wasn't any trace. It sounds like the shooter had been in the building and then was firing outside the building and people running from the building. It's just all of that happened before the cameras arrived.
And we draw these parallels, Shep.